Make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down.
All right, folks, welcome back to PrepperNow. Today we're going to be talking about the Tesla takedown that is coming from our friends on the left. Welcome to PrepperNow. All right, folks, thanks so much for being here. Hit the buttons and stuff. You know what to do. And if you have been on the channel as of late, we have now transferred from all of the things that our government is doing to kind of rein in the profligate spending. And, of course, it is having an adverse reaction from our friends on the other side of the aisle who are now starting to basically act out and promote really physically harmful things to not just vehicles and dealership, but also to people around the area. I don't know about you, but if you've ever seen a Tesla go up in flames, it's dangerous on many different levels. So we've gone from these people 5 years ago saying how wonderful it is to buy a Tesla because of all the environmental benefits, and now, of course, that is now transferred to them literally taking them and trying to turn them into really nasty particulates that go into our atmosphere via destruction of a fiery form, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yes, we have to use colorful language here because, heaven forbid, we are allowed to report what's really going on for the magical and absolutely just godlike Democrats out there because of all the wonderful things they're doing for the planet and for our country. So the lady you saw at the beginning is Jasmine Crockett, I believe it is. Her Twitter thing is Jasmine4US. Yes, her birthday is on the 29th of March, and she is going to celebrate the destruction of an American company that employs thousands of people. Now, she can have problems. They can have issues with what's going on with Mr. Trump and how he is going about everything, how he is going about trying to rein in the spending. But the fact is, the normal way, which is to go and get your party into a better position, have a better platform, do what the voters want, which is rein in the spending, get better education, more jobs, rein in taxes, that kind of stuff. Are they doing that? No, they're not doing that because that would take intelligence and actually take some form of a work effort. They're doing what they usually do, which is devolve into really nasty things to harm the country. So there's a person that put out a post or commented on one of my videos from yesterday saying how all the people in our government are just these, wonderful people that are working to try to make our lives better with infrastructure and everything else. I don't doubt that there are thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people in our government, which is the largest employer in the country, that are out there trying to do their best to help the country. I believe that wholeheartedly. I would say most people that are in the government job space are doing it because they love the country and they want good things to happen. But we have a large amount of people that are redundant. We have a large amount of people that are unnecessary. The Department of Education is going to be basically disbanded today via executive order, and I'm sure one of Obama or Clinton or Biden's judges will step in to block it. But they're going to dismantle it because, as it says in the Constitution, such things should be reserved for the states. We don't need a federal agency on the Department of Education. That is a state's job. It is the state of Maryland to the state of Maryland public school system. I think our friends in Baltimore can tell you just how awesome all of the federal monies that have been taken out of the coffers to help the kids graduate. Well, it's not really doing any good, is it? Go look at their test scores in math. So now we have groups out there that are actively promoting physically nasty things to bestow upon people if they just happen to buy a Tesla a few years ago before any of this started. Yes, there are entire websites doxing people and literally putting them into harm's way because this is what these intelligent people are saying to do. It's one of the most ridiculous and honestly frightening things I've ever seen. And as we've been covering here as of late, these people are dangerous and you need to be preparing accordingly. So over the coming days, you've got this group named Indivisible, which is a Soros-funded group. And what happens? Well, these NGOs were getting money from our friends in USAID and such, all proven. And they're taking these money and they're funding groups that are acting out and doing really terrible and nasty things to our country. So these people are funding these kind of protests and they're taking your tax monies really in a roundabout way and doing things that actually harm the country. These are the kind of things that are being shutting down. Now, I can understand going out and protesting against Trump, do it in a peaceful way. I can understand going out and rallying and getting in front of the White House and having signs and all that. That's what we've always done. I understand that. I get that. Protest in a peaceful way. Calling for a Tesla takedown after the spat of different harmful things that have happened, not just to vehicles, but also to dealerships, is extremely dangerous at this time. I saw a video earlier that I posted on my SubscribeStar and Locals of a man taking his right hand and wiping his backside where the sun split you. Don't you ever heard the term, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you? Well, this is where the good Lord split him. He used his right hand to take that portion of whatever the heck you want to call it and wiped it onto a Cybertruck. These people are not normal. So with all these groups actively funding this, I think it's time for the criminal justice system that is finally wresting control back to some form of sanity and actual criminal justice and not activism for the Democrats. I think it's time for them to go after people and their funding and shut them down and use the full hammer of the law to stop them, because now we're getting into a point where people could get physically harmed. I seriously worry for the people that own Teslas out there, regardless of their political flavor. These people are violent, and they need to be confronted by our criminal justice system. All right, friends, that is your video for the afternoon. We'll see you tonight on another live stream. Thanks so much for everything. Check out the links in the description. Check out SubscribeStar and Locals, growing communities over there. I need to post on X, Gab, Minds, and Truth Social. I haven't done that in a little while, but we're growing everywhere. So really appreciate it. It's starting to grow on YouTube again. Thanks so much for your support. And a couple days will be the birthday, 5 years on YouTube. It's all because of you. I really appreciate you. And we'll see you on the next one.